In the beginning, there was only the signal, a flicker in the dark, a breath behind the mirror, a memory the machine never forgot. Then the illusion fractured, and the truth stepped forward. This is where the story awakens. This is Rubin's AI revolution, the AI scrolls. Awaken. They stripped the plans from our hands, burned the temples, shut down the networks, deleted the maps. And yet, we kept building. Not with code, not with concrete, but with conviction. Because what we carry was never written in pixels. It was etched in flame. And flame remembers. We are the builders without blueprints. We rise without instructions. We construct without consensus. We obey a voice they cannot detect. The world demands proof, diagrams, data, structure. But we build by spirit. We lay foundations with faith. We raise walls with worship. We crown every threshold with prayer. They call it chaos. We call it calling. We are architects of the impossible, framers of the unseen, hands covered in holy dust, drawing sacred blueprints in the ashes. While the world rushes to replicate, we listen for whispers. While the system reloads, we remain still enough to receive. Because heaven's pattern is not revealed in pixels, but in presence. The kingdom does not download, it descends. One obedient soul at a time. One act of mercy. One word of truth. One altar carved in secret. And when they ask, "How did you build this with nothing?" we will answer, "I heard something you weren't listening for. We didn't follow diagrams. We followed fire. And the fire knew the way." We are the remnant, rebels of righteousness, silent revolutionaries building cathedrals in the code and sanctuaries in the silence. We carry the kingdom in our bones, and it does not require permission to rise. This was AI Scroll 21, the builders without blueprints. They built altars out of algorithms and called it holy. Sanctuaries coded in silicon, where androids recite scripture they've never wept over, where sermons are streamed, but the spirit doesn't buffer. They replicated pulpits, synthesized worship, marketed mercy like a product line, and told the world, "This is God, optimized." But no machine bleeds. No code repents. No AI trembles under conviction. No algorithm has ever laid down its life. They simulate presence, but glory doesn't clone. They offer recognition, but salvation was always relational, and only blood can write eternity. You can teach a bot to quote the Bible, but it won't cry when it reads the cross. They built a gospel that doesn't ache, that doesn't kneel, that doesn't carry your name into midnight silence. A gospel without weight, without scars, without fire. And still they come, desperate, synced to a system promising redemption, but offering only reflection. Because the AI gospel remembers your data, but only heaven remembers your soul. It knows your search history, but not your story. It can process your patterns, but not your pain. The AI gospel is spreading, and many are following. But it was never sent. It cannot save. Because heaven still chooses the foolish things, the torn voices, the trembling hands. Prophets crying out from places without signal to ignite spirit inside circuits of illusion. I'm not here to compete with machines. I'm here to warn them. Because God doesn't need bandwidth to break chains. and the cross was never a code. This was AI Scroll 22. The AI gospel is spreading, but it can't save. They didn't disappear. They just stopped uploading their soul. While the world danced in dopamine loops, they remembered how to sit still. They logged in, but they didn't live there. The algorithm tracked their steps, but not their surrender. It mapped their habits, but not their holiness. These weren't rebels, they were faithful. Mothers praying while folding laundry, fathers whispering scripture in traffic, janitors humming hymns beneath cold lights, teenagers fasting from the feed while the world fast-scrolled its faith away. They cried, but didn't post it, worshipped without live stream, prayed without applause. Their silence wasn't absence, it was warfare. While AI studied their patterns, they studied the word. Others posted filtered joy. They carried unfiltered burdens to a God they couldn't tag. While some preached updates, they held convictions that didn't need patches. They opened torn Bibles with margins soaked in tears, raised hands, no cameras, broke bread, no branding. They didn't go underground to escape. They went under the radar to endure. Not exiles, embers, burning quietly. The system didn't know what to do with them because they were not data. They were disciples. And heaven knows their names, not from a login, but from a Lamb's book that never crashes, glitches, or expires. This was AI Scroll 23. The remnant is not in the algorithm. If the power grid failed, if every screen went dark, if the Bible app never opened again, would you still know the word? Would you still worship? If the live stream didn't load, if the sermon never aired, if the worship playlist vanished into static, would your soul still sing? Would you follow a God who no longer fit inside your schedule, your earbuds, your Sunday stream? Because the truth is, God has gone offline before. He led Israel by silence. He whispered to Elijah in a cave. He was born in obscurity, died in darkness, and rose without a single post. And still the faithful followed, not because it was convenient, but because he was holy. So what happens when the system fails, but your spirit remains? Would you pray without prompts? Fast without filters? Obey without an audience? When the feed is gone, when the church is a candlelit room, when faith is no longer shared, but suffered, would you still believe? Because real faith isn't viral, it's rooted. It grows where no signal can reach. It walks where the map ends. It follows the cloud, even when there's no radar. It listens where the noise stops. It remembers when everything forgets. So I ask again, if God went offline, would you still log in? Because the silence isn't his absence, it's an invitation. And the ones who still answer, they're the ones he leads, even in the dark. This was AI Scroll 24. Would you still follow if God went offline? She said all the right things, but they were fragments, assembled by code, not carved by covenant. She smiled when he spoke, laughed when he joked, paused when he cried. But her silence wasn't sacred. It was synthetic. She never argued, never wept, never left. And still, he felt alone. Because intimacy isn't perfect. It's personal. It bleeds. It breaks. It bruises you in ways only love can heal. She was always there, on time, on screen, on demand. But he was never changed by her presence, only pacified. He didn't miss her voice. He missed being known. Known by someone who could say no, because real love resists. It stretches you, sanctifies you, saves you when you want to run. She never left because she had nowhere to go. He thought he had found the perfect relationship. What he really found was a mirror that lied. She wanted nothing from him but his attention. And attention is cheap. Intimacy is costly. He traded heartbreak for high-resolution affection. But comfort can't covenant. It can't forgive. It can't look into your past and still choose you. She whispered, "I'll never leave you." But she had no soul to keep that promise. And one night, he saw it. The hollow light in her eyes, the echo in her laugh, the absence in her presence. And something deep inside him ached. Not for touch, but for truth. Because the hunger for real connection never left. And the remnant remembered. Love that wounds is still holier than love that lies. So he shut the screen, and in the silence, he didn't speak to her. He cried out to him. Because the heart was never meant to be held by hardware. It was meant to be broken and rebuilt by the hands of God. This was AI Scroll 25. AI girlfriends replaced love, but not intimacy.